Welcome to another MMA grind. This was going to be the UFC 311 prediction show, but now we have breaking news. Arman Sarukian, or Sarukan, is out of the main event tomorrow night. Before or after weigh-ins, I don't know exactly what happened with that, but with a back injury he is claiming. I remember MMA experts broke a story a couple days ago that he had some what looked like to be staph infection on his chest. So it's possible that it is staph infection and not a back injury that he was dealing with. But in a twist of and turn of events, Renato Moicano, Money Moicano, is stepping in to fight Islam Makhachev. He was gonna fight. He was already scheduled to fight on the main card against Benil Dariush, and now he's stepping up to fight another southpaw, Islam Makhachev, obviously for the belt, the world title, to save this card. And I mean, I'm not as pumped for this fight. I can't lie. Arman. I think, like, although I was gonna pick Islam to beat Arman Sarukian, I still believe that Islam was better everywhere, and I was gonna pick him, I was gonna pick him against Arman, but I felt like Arman did have that explosiveness on the feet. He could definitely match the wrestling, so the wrestling would probably cancel out, and there's gonna be more of a kickboxing match. And I felt like Arman, there was a possibility in the first couple rounds that he could maybe catch Islam. I don't see him knocking out Islam. I don't know. Maybe just still a couple rounds. I mean, I didn't really see a path for victory for Arman, if I'm honest, other than maybe just getting lucky and starching him like he did with Dariush. That wasn't lucky, but I mean, throw something explosive, drop him, and just finish him really quick, something like that. Kind of like the only way Islam has ever lost, way back in the when he lost his only fight in the UFC, his only loss, something like that against Adriano. Who was that? Martins, I believe. Yeah. So that's the only path of victory I even seen for Arman. And Moicano, I just don't really see a path of victory for Moicano. I mean, he has he has pretty good wrestling. He's just not, I don't think he's at the elite level. He has great jiu-jitsu, pretty decent on the feet. He's very tough as hell, for sure. I mean, you see him, he damn near got knocked out, almost a walk-off KO by Jalen Turner. Then he comes back in I believe, the next round and finishes Jalen, So, I mean, he definitely has that dog in him. He's Money Moicano. You can't not love Money Moicano. I mean, the guy's great on the mic, very smart guy, great fighter. Like I said, he has that dog in him, but I just don't see a clear path of victory. I think Islam will probably take him down at some point in the first round, second round, and try to go for a submission. That's where I'm leaning at this moment. I mean, I might make another video later just to say exactly what I think, because I haven't processed this fully. I just kind of heard this news. Actually, I saw MMA experts breaking the news. If you guys don't watch or subscribe to his channel, you should do so, because I mean, he's on top of it. And yeah, so I'm still kind of trying to process this, but I'm leaning definitely Islam still. But I mean, I'm not as pumped up for this fight. I mean, we're on our way to the weigh-ins. We're trying to get out to LA. Like I said, I'm not as pumped now, because I'm just like, man, I thought Arman at least was, I mean, I felt like it was, I wouldn't say 50-50, more like a 55-45 for Islam. Like, I felt like Arman does have the best tools in the lightweight division right now to attack, and at least to challenge Islam on the feet, on the ground. On the feet, not so much. Islam just a little bit better everywhere, but I think way better on the feet. Just more of a more seasoned veteran, striker. Like, I felt like the wrestling was going to cancel each other out, and that it was just going to mostly be a kickboxing match with Islam kind of just taking him apart and maybe finishing him in the fourth round. So now it's like I got to reassess everything. You got Money Moicano in there, and I still kind of think the path of victory for Islam would be some type of submission. I'm thinking it might be a little faster, though. That's the only thing, because I don't think Moicano is going to be able to stop the grappling of Islam. Like, yes, he's a little bit more dangerous with his jiu-jitsu and everything like that, better on the ground as far as like attacks. That's why I thought Arman, like that's why I couldn't see so much of a path of victory for Arman, because I didn't really see his jiu-jitsu being up to par. Like his wrestling, yes, they could cancel each other out with wrestling, but the jiu-jitsu wise, I didn't really see how he would finish Islam. I don't see him choking out Islam. Money Moicano, yeah, he does have more dangerous jiu-jitsu. He could do something on the ground, but I just don't see him getting that opportunity or being in that position, like to be able to do that against Islam. Islam's just, like I said, he's a fucking champ. He is the pound for pound #1 right now. Best in the world, and it's just crazy. Like Islam. I mean, a lot of people are trying to say that maybe Islam's injured in this fight, like as well, if that becomes a factor. But I don't believe that. I don't think Habib and all these guys, his team. I think they care so much about Islam's legacy that they wouldn't let him fight if they thought he wasn't, you know, fit, or if he wasn't 100% for this fight. So yeah, that's the breaking news. Arman's out. Money Moicano steps to the plate. Let's see what he could do. This is stuff dreams are made of. Now he's gonna really be Money Moicano, because he's gonna make a fat ass payday from this. He's gonna get a bag for this one, and he deserves it. He's great on the mic. He always comes to fight. I mean, he's game ass opponent. He was already, and the thing is, at least he's in good shape. He was already fighting Beneil, who's a little similar to Islam. I mean, a few years back, everyone was thinking Beneil would be a one to actually challenge Islam at some point. He had a couple losses in a row, so that's kind of out the window for now. But I mean, he's always been a very game opponent and a great, like a world class jiu-jitsu guy, no-gi champion, world champion, and then also just, his kickboxing, great body kicks, all that. I just don't really see anywhere path of victory for Moicano, unless he can somehow catch Islam on the feet. He is a taller guy than Arman, so I mean, it is a little different than the guy that he was training for. I mean, I'm sure Islam was training nothing but wrestling to try and counter, not nothing but wrestling, but mostly wrestling like they do, especially to counter whatever Arman's attacks were going to be. And I don't think it's going to be the same with Moicano. Moicano's going to present, I think he probably has a little bit better striking as far than Arman, on the feet, as far as just volume and maybe not just like explosiveness, but he's a longer fighter. He's taller. It's going to be it's a totally different matchup for Islam, someone he didn't prepare for. And shout out to Islam too, man, just for shows that, he really does believe that he is the best in the world, and he knows that. So it's like he'll take on whoever it is, no notice, short notice, whatever. He's still going to be like, nope, show must go on. Like, I don't give a fuck who it is, basically like Conor attitude. And that's how it should be. There's so many guys out here that just, that's all they care about. And he cares more about legacy than a lot of fighters, and he's still up there and he's ready to take on whoever it was. If it was Beneil, he probably would have said, okay, let's go. If they would have brought in Michael Chandler or some crazy, like he knew I was going to be in for it in the first round, he probably would still take it, just engage it, whoever. Now he's like, let's go, and that's cool. Like I said, shout out to Islam for that, keeping this fight card together. And yeah, because he still has his bout to lose, and there's a whole new matchup. But yeah, it's chance of a lifetime, opportunity of a lifetime for Money Moicano. And yeah, he's going to live up to that name now. He's definitely going to be, show me the money, baby. Yeah, so we'll see what happens with this one. But yeah, I'm definitely leaning Islam still, because, I mean, the guy is just on another level. He's been on a tear, been pretty much after what it was super impressive what he did to Poirier. Yeah, Poirier cut him and made him look human. Like, he always looks human. He always looks so beatable. Like Khabib looked almost untouchable. Kind of just looked like, everyone always compares Islam to Khabib, and Khabib just looked like he was a ferocious freaking Wolverine in there, some kind of crazed animal that nobody could touch, just nobody could stop, But Islam doesn't look that way. He does look human. He does look beatable, but he still finds ways to win. And, he still pulls out the victories. And I think it's going to be the same here. I think he's going to, whatever adversity, if he does get any at all here, he's going to still pull it out and keep his belt. But, yeah, that's all I got for this breaking news.